Good morning to all who help feed and clothe the world, and welcome to In the Loop Weekend Ag Talk, brought to you by Alphen Insurance Agency. We hope this is the best quick update related to crop insurance and agriculture that you watch all week. Let's take a look at how the markets were on late Friday afternoon. After a crazy week of volatility due to things going on in the Black Sea, looks like corn is going to settle down at least mid-afternoon on Friday at 681. December wheat also the same, down a little from last week at this time at 847. December cotton has been on a roll this week, limiting up the last few days, and this afternoon it was sitting at 87 cent. A very welcome change in that market to cotton growers across the U.S. November soybeans have had a positive last part of the week as well, sitting at 1452 late on Friday afternoon. In some local news here, a few deadlines you don't want to miss. November 18th, organic growers have until November 18th to apply for a 50% reimbursement for the cost of becoming organic certified or to be recertified through NCDA and CS as an organic grower. Encourage you to look into this program today so you do not miss this deadline. Also, in some news that'll affect you locally here, there's a farm estate planning workshop to be held on November 30th. It's never too early to start planning for the future of your family farm. No matter the size of your operation, if your goal is to keep the farm in the family for future generations or to keep it in agriculture, it's crucial that you get a plan now. Cooperative Extension is holding a free workshop on succession and estate planning over in Salisbury at the Rowan County Extension Center on Wednesday, November 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. Encourage you to look into this program now as seating will be limited. In state news today, we're going to focus on women in agriculture and send a congratulations to McKenna Clifton from Salisbury, North Carolina, who is an NCSU student at the time. She is the first female National FFA officer to ever be elected from the state of North Carolina. It's been quite a long time since we've had a national officer. I think it goes back around 27 years to when Ray Starling was a national officer from the state of North Carolina. Congratulations to McKenna, and we wish you safe travels and many successes this year as you represent the youth of agriculture as a national FFA regional vice president. As I do every week, I like to step back in time a little bit with some facts or some trivia from history in North Carolina or related to agriculture in the state of North Carolina. This week, we'd like to step back in time a little bit and remember the old country stores. Seems these started fading away in the early 90s when I got out of college, and you just don't see them around anymore unless you see them in the condition they're in now. But think of the history that we've lost by not being able to visit these stores and listen to the old farmers tell stories of the way things used to be and how things were done. Now, granted, there are some stories that were told at these stores it's probably better for our youth not to hear, but also many values learned from little kids who their parents would give them money, send them to the country store right down the road to pick up something that mom or dad needed and allow them to buy a piece of candy and threatening them, you better bring home my change or I'll get after you. I know what I'm supposed to get. Lots of good memories of these country stores, and I thought I'd share some of these pictures with you that I've taken as I've traveled the roads in North Carolina over the last 30 years. Hope you enjoy these and hope you have many good memories of country stores in your neighborhood. Now's the time in the program that we go behind the scenes at Alphen Insurance Agency. This week, we're going to go behind the scenes and we're going to meet Miss Kristen Alphen. Kristen has started with us just a few months ago. She resides in Wayne County as the fourth generation Alphen working in office here. She's been with us for less than a year working as an Asian assistant account manager. She enjoys going to the beach and she's also an avid sports fan. Kristen, what have you got going on this?
Thank you, Brian, and good morning, y'all. So, since I'm pretty new to the company, I've been doing a lot of shadowing and learning this week. I've been shadowing my mom, taking a closer look at the books and seeing how all of that works and trying to learn more about it, as well as going out with my dad and the rest of the agents, getting to meet our wonderful farmers we work with and learning more about our industry as a whole. I can't wait to keep meeting everyone and learning as much as I possibly can. Thank you, Brian. Back to you.
Thanks, Kristen, and hope you have a great weekend. As we dig into U.S. news, you can look at the total precipitation map of the U.S. Looks like the river region of the United States, as I call it, is finally getting some much needed rain for crops and to hopefully bring up water levels on the Mississippi River. When you look at U.S. ag highlights for harvest, corn is 76% harvested, cotton 55%, peanuts are coming in at 79% harvested, soybeans at 88% this week. And when you look at winter wheat, we're at about 87% planted with about 62% of it emerged. When we look at other U.S. news, we have to dig back into the potential of rail strike and the effect that would have on farmers. When we look at the chart here of U.S. grain moved by rail, 46% of the corn, 23% of soybeans, and 20% of the wheat in the U.S. is moved by rail. And feedstuffs this week, it says rail companies and labor unions have reached stalemate over sick leave pay, raising prospects of worker strike in coming months. With harvest just over halfway complete, the threat of a rail strike could not come at a worse time. Looks like 25% of the U.S. grain transport is related on rail, and with us having troubles on the rivers now as well as in trucking, we definitely don't need the rails to go on strike at this time. It also could greatly affect the inbound fertilizer coming in to the U.S. as well as moving it around the U.S. So they're saying get your fertilizer book as soon as possible if you haven't done that already, and don't guarantee that it'll be delivered on time. You don't need to make any assumptions on that. So we hope we can get this resolved and that the unions can reach some type of agreement to keep our railways going. Other U.S. news this week, the Missouri FFA Soy Innovation Challenge came to my desk and really caught my attention. The Missouri Soybean Merchandising Council is partnering with Missouri FFA for a Soy Innovation Challenge program. The challenge will help FFA members understand soy's versatility and the many ways it can be used in everyday products. Missouri Soybean Outreach and Education Director Bailey Ashby points out the need to engage FFA members who are farming's next generation. The top 3 chapters will each be awarded $10,000 each for participating in this and being in the top 3. Wonder if we could get North Carolina Soybean Producers Association and NCFFA linked together for some similar type program here in North Carolina. U.S. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack announced that USDA is providing additional funding for rural high-speed broadband projects. They announced $759 million investment into 49 awards in 29 different states across the country, hoping that some of this funding will reach rural North Carolina. As we close out news this week, we look into the world, and Russia backs out of the grain deal and jumps back in a few days later. This has wrecked markets all week, and don't know that we'll see any change in the near future in this with them in and out of this, but it definitely disrupted things over in the Black Sea region over the week. Another thing that has really got markets stoked the last couple of days is China's COVID policy. Huge changes are coming, starting with travel restrictions that would be lifted, allowing more travel and less restriction time as far as quarantine time, folks coming and going from the country. Oil and commodities have just rallied as a result of this news here. This situation would change China from its dynamic zero COVID to where everything was on lockdown to opening some things back up to travel and commerce, and hopefully some of the factories will get to rolling 100% and stimulate some of our commodities getting sold and moved over into China. Well, again, we thank you for tuning in to Weekend Ag Talk, brought to you by Alphen Insurance Agency. We hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook and share this video with your friends and family so they can see what we've got going on. Also, send us a message with your email if you'd like to be added to our email update system and keep you up to date on all things related to crop insurance and agriculture. Remember, make mental health a priority at your home and at your farm. Make time for yourself and make time for those around you. Give us a call. We'll come to you. so you can focus on family and farming. Thanks for tuning in.